Tell me, have you ever heard of Sominia? What if I told you that a faraway dimension existed, where a goddess feeds on our people's dreams? A mystical world where one could start anew, or even be forgotten by those we once loved. If I told you I'd been there, to this outlandish world. Hey there, and welcome to this episode of Why the Hell Do I Write? My name is Amy Barrett. I just wanted to welcome you. I'm sorry there's been a delay in how many episodes I've been churning out. I've been busy with what I just showed you, which is my new trailer for my book. It's actually a series, so I just wanted to just demonstrate that. Also, I wanted to show you what I've been currently working on is my proofreads for my new manuscript related to that. Also, the trailer you just saw, as I just mentioned, I've been working on. Let me give you a little bit background on that. What you just saw, that's a little clip of it. What the background with that is, we had a group of writers, depending on if they've been published or not, were talking on Twitter about whether or not we should do book trailers. And that's the question I would like to pose to you today is, do you ever browse YouTube at the 2 a.m. in your underwear and go, hey, this book trailer, makes me want to buy a book? Or do you even know what a book trailer is? It looks like, a movie trailer. It's basically what it is. And one of the things I did before I agreed to make a book trailer is I went out to my friends and family on Facebook. And I said to a couple of them, I hand selected some of the, random ones. I hand picked. I didn't really, I went to ones that did know were big readers. And I said, hey, do you know what a book trailer is? And a couple of them, actually almost all of them said, what's a book trailer? And I said, and I had to explain to them, hey, and I had to give them examples of some really good ones. There's a couple articles online that show some of the best trailers. Now, we're not talking about the Moby Awards, which shows some of the worst trailers you can find. They actually did an award dedicated to really bad trailers. And right now, I'm sitting here, don't put my trailer on that. But, that's one of the things I'll admit is, I went into this after agreeing, finally after listening to people, and one of the things we'll come to the conclusion of, and I'll ask you is, have you ever bought a book based on a trailer? And the answer you'll get most of the time is no. I've yet to find an average consumer that will buy a book based on a book trailer. And I've seen some really fantastic book trailers. They're way better than mine. And yet, will people buy books based on seeing a trailer? There's probably a niche out there that does do this, and kudos to that. I'm glad people are buying books and reading, but is it worth the cost? Now, my trailer, how much did I pay? I gave myself 1 week of production time, and I gave myself a budget of $0, which most people are like, hey, that's a nice budget, but what are you usually going to turn out with a budget like that? Not the greatest of things, but I have a background. I have some, I worked with Blender, started, working really hard to some VA stuff I worked on with this project. You don't want to know how much I had to record my voice over and over, to the point I was spent days just recording my voice. I had a VA at one point, but then they never, they failed to follow up. Anyways, but that's, it was possibly miscommunication. It happens. But I had a 1 week deadline I gave myself. And so what happened in the end is I got this done, 0 budget, 0 everything. Am I pleased with it? For what I have? Yeah, sure. And what I've received in reviews and everything, what people have given me in feedback is great. It's wonderful. But do I believe the time wasted, and what I fear is authors who will go out and pay for the services for these things? Do I really believe they're going to get their money's worth in their book sales and their marketing? And the answer is no. I don't think that they're worth the cost, because who here, and let's raise the honest question, is going to buy one of these things, buy a book based on seeing my review. I don't know. I'm not trying to downgrade anyone who will, but I don't think people base their judgment on a trailer. Now, movies on one thing are different, but I think the book trailer is still a new concept. And that's just how it goes. Anyways, what is going on in my life right now with my writing? Beyond the proof, the proofreading and etc. What else have I been doing? I wanted to share, I've been working on edits, so you'll see I got pages of red ink. Those are finalized edits. I also have Create a Space. I always say create and I add an A in there. It's an Amazon company. Has put a preview of my first, my prologue of my first book, which is The End Is a Dream, which you saw that trailer of. I have that. It's on. I have a link I'll put below us. Feel free to review it. Tell me the terrible. There's some questions in it. If you actually go and you can fill out and tell me how terrible it is, or how good and how much you like it. I love constructive feedback. With that, and so I just wanted to share. I'm going to be publishing possibly a copy through them just to help Amazon with the pod, which is print on demand. Most of my stuff is going through Ngram and through Ngram Spark. I'm publishing under Secna Entertainments, which is the indie studio I originally worked with, is agreeing to allow me to use them as a publisher. And then my Kindle and my ebook is going through Kindle Direct. And so I've been dealing with that on top of the marketing for the book. And then on top of that, you got the corporate sponsorships, and then you got planning stuff. And so what I recommend for any author is you want to lay out your strategy. You want to lay out that you got everything. You got your media kits. You're building all this before your book launches. Because right now I'm looking at a winter 2018 launch. I pushed my launch back. Originally, the Bear original was August of 2017. And then I wanted things fine-tuned. We did some reworks. I say we, which is my editors, me, decided to do some reworks in the plot, because I want to make sure this is best for my fans and best for my everybody else, and new readers and everyone. I want to make sure it's the best I can push out for a introductory book into the fantasy series, this fantasy genre. Excuse me. And so one of the things I would recommend is for anyone new and old is make sure you have your strategy. And what do I use to keep my sanity? I want to recommend a book. I was not paid or endorsed by this, but it's the Novel Planner. You can get this at I found this book. It's worth it. I didn't find it on the side of the street, but I got this from I ordered this online. I found this really good. It sat on a shelf for most of the time, but it has these really nifty, and I print them out because I don't like to write in books. It's a weird thing. I think my teachers, as I was a kid, really taught me good. But you got these where you can print, either print them out. They're easy to lie flat and print. Where you can talk about and do goal setting. You can do your daily accomplishments. Another thing it has, because it plays like a daily planner, has a monthly planner, has a setup for your marketing, how you plan to market, what you plan to market on. And I found it, your project goals, your deadlines, and I found it to be a sanity saver. And that's something I recommend for everyone. Anyways, I'm about out of time. Anytime you have questions or anything you want me to go over, or you ever have any questions for me, feel free to ask or to hit me on Twitter. I'm under Sominia Dev, or go check out my website and there's contact information there. And that's at sominia.com. Anyways, take care. Talk to you later. Bye.